I'm a U.S. Air Force.
Go ahead.
Good morning, my name is Mike Garner. I'm a U.S. Air Force veteran. I grew up in a military family. My father did 24 years in the U.S. Air Force. I was fortunate enough as a child to see a lot of the military bases around the United States, everywhere from Florida to Alaska, Goose Bay, Labrador. Okay, I saw here in Michigan. My dad worked on the C-5A and C-141 radar, so he traveled a lot. Therefore, I moved around every 3 or 4 years. So finally, we were stationed at Charleston Air Force Base in Charleston, South Carolina. I graduated there in 1974. Went into the Air Force. That's pretty much all I knew as military life. I determined that the U.S. Air Force was a way to start my life. So I enlisted. I went in at the tail of the Vietnam era with the thoughts that I'd probably be sent to Vietnam, but I wasn't. I went to Lowry Air Force Base in Colorado for schooling, and then on to Germany. I spent most of my enlistment in Germany. I was working on a radar site called Neubrücke radar site on the Berlin Wall. At that time, Berlin Wall was active, and so we were monitoring air traffic across both the American side and the Russian side of the wall. So every time Russia would fly and get near our airspace, we'd go on alert, and we were there to protect and alert folks that there was an issue. I was in base supply. I was inventory control specialist, so my job was to monitor all of the parts coming in and out of the radar site so that we were up and running and ready for anything that may hit us during the time that we were needing equipment.
And what air base was that you were at?
I was actually stationed near Baumholder Army Post, and we were at Neubrücke Air Station, which was a small radar site off the Army Post there.
I'm familiar exactly where that's at.
Yeah, so it was good duty for me. I was a young kid, and I got to see a lot of Europe and stuff while I was over there, and it was a real chance to grow up. Upon getting out of the service, I took residence in Charleston, South Carolina. I was working in heating and air conditioning. I met my wife there. I then determined she was from Washington, from the Auburn area, and we determined that we would move west, so we loaded everything up and headed to Washington State. I got here in 1978. At that point in time, I've been in North Central Washington ever since. My career was with Treetop, the Apple organization. I did 24 years there. I started at the bottom, worked my way to plant manager, and retired from Treetop. With that being said, about 15 years ago, I determined that I felt I'd been in the military and a military family for most of my life, and I really felt that it was an opportunity for me to give back to the community. So I joined the American Legion Post 10 here in Wenatchee, and have since taken on the commander's role. The Legion here is a great organization. We're probably the largest post in Washington State. We have about 550 members. Our job and our roles there are to support our veterans throughout North Central Washington. That's everything from the day-to-day resources. I work with the Veterans Service Officer at the post to help any needy veterans that are in the area, and that things they may need, whether it be gas or fuel or housing or whatever is required to assist the veterans.
Now, who is a Veteran Service Officer down there?
Dick Wynn is our Veterans Service Officer. Does a great job. He's prepared through myself and the rest of our board members there to assist veterans throughout the area, day, night, whatever is required. As I took on the role of the commander, some of the programs and things that we support, of course, everything is focused around the veterans. We support the baseball, the Legion baseball team. We support, of course, our group there. We have the Women's Auxiliary, the Legion Riders. They are tied with us in regards to our goal of supporting the veterans. We work very heavily with the Junior ROTC, the Civil Air Patrol, the scout programs in the area, the Wenatchee Valley Nurses. We sponsor scholarships to them every year. We do a lot of fundraising in the area. We sell the poppies on Poppy Day. We also handle all of the funeral services and honor guard services for our veterans in the area. We do the Veterans Day Parade, of course, and then we also do the Veterans Picnic on September 14th this year for all the veterans in the area. We have a large work in conjunction with the VFW, and we have a very large picnic out at the Walla Walla Park for the veterans every year.
Now, if a veteran is interested in joining the post, how would they go about that?
They would basically go to the post or contact us. We are in the phone and everything, and online. And they would contact us. It's a $60 membership per year. At that time, we can also stop at the lounge at the Legion, and they'll have the registration cards there. And all
Where
we
is the
need is
Legion located?
the Legion is at 208 North Wenatchee Avenue.
Okay.
We're right across from the Wenatchee Hotel, the tall hotel in town.
That's the place with the huge American flag, isn't it?
It is
Okay.
flying out front,
There you
yes, absolutely. And we are looking for members all the time. We take real pride in having our membership maintained and growing every year. If you fill out that membership card, leave it with the attendant at the bar there, we'll get that going, and we'd love to have new members. We are a nonprofit organization, a 501c. We do a Christmas basket program that we do for veterans on the low income and needy veterans every year. We raise money all year, and at Christmas time we give out gift cards. We have about 65 to 75 veterans that are on our list, and we're also open to any needy veterans that need help.
Okay.
And we deliver those cards around Christmas time to the families that are not so fortunate during that time of the year.
So that's in the general area of Wenatchee, East
That
Wenatchee?
is in Wenatchee, East Wenatchee, Waterville, Cashmere, Leavenworth, that area. The Legion does support veterans throughout north central Washington. So if they're in an outlying area or something and need assistance, they contact us and we work from there. We also, of course, pay close attention to the veterans, the needy veterans that are in hospitals and that type of stuff. Our auxiliary works very close with that, and visitation and things that they may need while having medical situations. We support our youth programs. That kind of is, in a nutshell, kind of what we do. Again, we try not to lose sight of what we're there for. We're there to assist needy veterans and veterans that need support.
Now, does the American Legion, I know from my mother and my father, they were both military veterans. They had military interments at Wenatchee Cemetery. Now, is the American Legion the one that provides the color guard? And
We do. All we need is a DD-214 showing service,
Okay.
and that will be turned into the funeral home. Then the funeral home will contact us. At that point in time, we put our team together. Matter of fact, we have one today at noon. But we will then take the firing team with us. We also can present the flag, fold the flag. Most of our services, the military, the active military is there. So if we're doing a U.S. Air Force veteran, the Air Force will be there.
Sure.
And if not, we're prepared to do the service ourselves and present the flag. And we leave the volleys with the family. We do the 21-gun salute.
Sure.
It really hits me heavy when I go there.
Me too.
It's something that is why I do what I do, as in support of those people that served.
Well, I mean, it's just another act, actually the final act of respect for
Absolutely.
that veteran as a person and for his service and his family, because not only does the veteran serve and sacrifice, the families also do, so.
Most definitely. I think that's about all I got, unless you got questions, sir.
Boy, I sure don't, other than, I think you pretty much got it, Mike. I mean, I just kind of sat back here. You were driving the bus. That was great. No, I think that's important, to get that information out. And, people hear about the VFW and they don't seem to hear a whole lot about the American Legion, because I talk with people that says, oh yeah, it's a VFW. And I said, no, there is a difference, right, between the Veterans of Foreign Wars and the American Legion.
That's correct.
And so I try and make that, and no. I said, yeah, there is.
There is.
And
we work very closely with the VFW on many functions throughout the valley.
Sure.
We recently were heavily involved in the Purple Heart celebrations going on this on August 7th.
Right.
We did several large events last year. We also are working more and more with Tony and the group here. We really want to try to bring these organizations together closer so that we're communicating amongst everybody knows what's going on. We have a tendency to kind of get focused on the American Legion, and we do what we do, but we really want to slow down a bit and make sure everybody understands what else is going on in the valley with the other organizations, because we're all driving for the same thing.
Sure. Now, being from Waterville myself, I just sat down with the mayor up there, Lloyd Smith, a couple of weeks ago. We were chatting and everything, and I also was employed up there in the parks, and I worked on their timber unit for 19 years. And the sunken garden is something that I believe he had a conversation with you about, because that was dedicated back in 39 or 40. The women's, they actually call them the Minute Women in Washington State when I researched it. And there was only 2 chapters at the time. And I believe there was 12 women went back to Washington, D.C. on the train. And they brought the boxwood shrubs back from Washington, D.C. and they planted them around the fountain and the circle in the sunken garden. And that was dedicated to the memory and the service of the First World War veterans. And over time, the shrubs, that's a long time, since 40.
Exactly.
And they are going to take those shrubs out, but they're going through different ideas of, either they want to put a nice commemorative plaque and everything, and I believe that's going to happen next year in 2026 from what Lloyd was telling me. And I think he wanted to contact you because I had mentioned to him, I said, I believe the American Legion or the VFW, it would be nice when this is done, and it's done so well, that we get some veterans, a good group of veterans together, and do this dedication ceremony right. Show the colors.
Absolutely.
And so he said, yeah, well, I'll see if I can have a chat with the American Legion. And
I did talk to Lloyd myself, and we got a call last fall that there was a need, and we kind of never heard anything back, so I made a call up there to talk to the Parks Department, and they hooked me up with the mayor, and we had quite a good discussion. He wants me to contact him in the spring of 26. We do have on our agenda that we're going to supply help to anything needed to help with the park itself, the cleanup, the reorganization of things, and really do our part to help. That's a part of our history that we definitely don't want to lose, that we want to make sure it's brought up to snuff.
Well, what's nice is that myself being an Army veteran, I always took pride in it, because there's another couple trees, memorial plaques in the park for veterans. And the current park employee is a Afghan Army vet,
Sure.
a infantry guy. And it's like his own personal backyard. He's got it right down pat, and I live right there on, it's like my backyard. Whenever he's got a question on trees or this or that, how I got them to look so nice, he just trots right on over. We put our heads together, and that way
Good
he doesn't
deal.
have to fumble through stuff. He knows what works. It's worked for 20, 25 years.
Sure.
And yeah, we've had some discussions about the sunken garden. He said, I just feel so guilty that it looks so bad. And I think some of it was probably funds at the time. Budgets are tight, and so I'm really glad to hear that the American Legion is going to step up and help, because I think it means a lot. We have quite a few veterans up in Waterville, in the area, Mansfield, and
Well, I've had some conversations with Brad Pirate with the VFW also, and that organization's going to go with us, so there'll be both of us involved, and
great.
we're able to supply the people and the stuff that we need and funds if available. Once we talk to the folks up there and determine what exactly is needed, we're there to support.
Well, I'll be there with my video equipment and everything. I'm gonna get it on video and put it in the archives for
Good deal.
Waterville. I'm also gonna put it up on the YouTube page, and if American Legion and VFW would like a copy or something for their uses, they're very welcome to. So I just think it's an outstanding thing. Plus, like you said, it's just another thing that the American Legion does for the community.
That's exactly.
So there's so many different things that you do.
There's so much stuff there that people don't know we do.
Yeah.
There's a cemetery out on the north end in the Sunny Slope area that has no American flag. And so we've gone out and purchased the flagpole, and we've put together the programs that we support, the Junior ROTC, the Civil Air Patrol, the Scouts. Those folks are going to help us with the foundation work and the stuff that we have to do to put that flag up, and the lights and things that are required on it, and put a flag over that cemetery. There's some veterans buried in there that we want to recognize. So that's the type of thing. As those kind of projects come in, we get together as our group and see what is needed and what can we do to assist. That's what we're all about.
Well, I think that's important too for the community to realize that it's just not a bunch of old vets that go around, go down to the bar and drink and tell stories to each other. I mean, you guys are out, you're still serving. I mean, just because we took our uniform off,
That's right.
that didn't mean we got relieved of duty.
Absolutely.
We just got the DD-214, and we're just out here doing service in so many different ways. Serving the community is serving our country.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
So I'm proud to be a part of that.
Well, if someone does have a project or something like that in mind, then can they get a hold of you by phone or by,
Absolutely. They can get a hold of me by phone. You want my number? Or?
Yeah, the American Legion number if you want to give it, or if you have a email for the American Legion. So
The post number is 509-663-5912. We're at 208 North Wenatchee Avenue. And you can reach, if you're wanting to get email, my email is garnertnvol@aol.com. And I pay attention to that very closely, and I'll move anything forward that's needed, or set up appointments with anybody that would like to visit with us.
great. Well, Mike, this has just been a quick, precise, articulate. I mean, so much information, and I'm just very pleased that you made the time and came in and sat down and shared.
Well,
this.
we get asked quite often, what does American Legion do? So we work very closely with the community. We've had several meetings with the mayor in Wenatchee here, and East Wenatchee, and we just really pay attention to what's going on. I get asked that question very often: is what is American Legion all about? And so I come pretty prepared to talk about that. So.
Well, and any time that you feel that you have more information you want to share, you know where I'm at. You just get a hold of Tony, and we'll just get you back on another, and we'll just keep putting them up there and sharing the information.
Likewise, I would like to do that, because there are activities that we do that we want to get in front of people to know exactly what we're doing and why we're doing it. So
Someday when it's convenient for you, I'd like to actually come down to the American Legion.
You bet.
And maybe just go inside if it's all right, and video inside the facility so people can see just where you're at and just what type of nice, because I've been in the American Legion as a guest before, and this just encourages me to get off of the dime. And
we'd be more than happy to show people around. If anybody wants to come down, we'll meet up with them and give them a tour and kind of show them what we do.
Because I think sometimes people hear it, they go, oh yeah, but if they go down and they see exactly what's going on, I think that more visual and feel the presence, the vibe of the American Legion. This is what it is, and these are the men and women. And now, American Legion is open both to men and women veterans.
Yes, absolutely.
Sure.
All veterans.
Okay.
All we need is verification with a DD-214.
That's the magic one.
That's it.
Okay. Okay, well, thank you very much. I appreciate it, Mike.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
You bet.